Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're unpacking qualitative research. It's one of those approaches that helps us understand human experience in ways numbers sometimes can't.
Exactly. It often seems complex, research methods in general, but qualitative work has its own unique flavor.
Right, and we're drawing on a great paper by Iman Saiful Alam and Adelina Azmawi to kind of give you a shortcut to its core ideas.
Yeah, the goal really is to show what makes it distinct and, honestly, why it's so vital for getting at the why behind things, going beyond just the surface.
Okay, so let's start there. What is qualitative research fundamentally?
Well, at its heart, it's a methodological approach. You find it across the social sciences, humanities. Its main focus is investigating underlying meanings.
Meanings, patterns,
Mm.
the subtleties of experience.
Precisely. The things that aren't easily counted. We're talking about human experiences, actions, social happenings.
You're digging into the depth.
And the key difference from, say, quantitative research is the type of data, isn't it? Not spreadsheets full of numbers. Exactly right. It uses non-numerical data. So think interview transcripts, observation notes, images, personal stories, descriptive stuff.
Words, not numbers.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
The aim is more humanistic, interpretive. You're trying to understand the richness, the complexity of how people see and interact with their world, not just quantify bits of it.
That makes sense. It sounds much more focused on the individual's perspective. So how does that translate into guiding principles? I know context is king is a big one.
Oh, absolute fundamental. Qualitative research really zooms in on the whole context. It doesn't try to generalize to everyone, everywhere, but understands a phenomenon within its specific setting.
So like understanding teachers in Bangladesh means looking at that specific social and cultural environment, which might be very different from, say, Malaysia.
Exactly. You can't just lift findings from one context and assume they apply elsewhere without careful thought. Experiences are shaped by where and when they happen. It's holistic.
Which ties into valuing subjective viewpoints, right? It's about their experience.
Precisely. It prioritizes how individuals see things, the meanings they attach to their lives. It's about capturing those unique perspectives.
And this leads to another interesting point. Qualitative research often develops hypotheses rather than starting out to test predefined ones.
Yes, that's a key distinction.
Yeah.
It generally uses inductive reasoning. You gather all this rich, descriptive data first,
Okay.
and then you look for patterns, themes, and build your theories or models from what emerges. It's discovery-oriented.
So it's flexible. The plan can change as you learn.
Very much so. The research design isn't usually set in stone. You might start with broad questions, but you adapt as new insights come up. It allows you to explore unexpected avenues that quantitative designs might miss.
Which means you end up with really rich, detailed data.
Exactly. And that depth is crucial. It helps capture nuances, understand the context deeply, and importantly, represent the participants' voices accurately.
But if it's so context-specific, how do you talk about the findings being useful elsewhere? It's not statistical generalizability.
Right. It's about transferability. The rich description allows you, the reader or listener, to judge if the findings might be relevant or transfer to another context that seems similar. It's about providing enough detail for others to see potential connections.
Okay, that makes sense. But with all this interpretation and flexibility, how do researchers ensure the findings are, well, trustworthy?
Great question. There are several strategies. One key one is triangulation.
Triangulation.
Yeah, it means using multiple approaches to look at the same question. So maybe different data sources like interviews and observations or different methods, or even having multiple researchers analyze the data. It helps cross-verify findings.
Like getting corroborating evidence.
In a way, yes. Another really important one is member checking.
What's that?
That's where you actually go back to the participants you interviewed or observed, share your interpretations with them, and ask, does this ring true? Does this capture your experience accurately?
Ah, so you check your understanding with the source.
Exactly. It boosts credibility and confirms you haven't misinterpreted their views. It's about ensuring the findings reflect their reality.
And what about the ethics? The relationship between the researcher and the participant must be pretty important here.
Absolutely fundamental. All the standard ethical considerations apply: informed consent, confidentiality, minimizing harm, respecting autonomy. But qualitative research often puts extra emphasis on building rapport.
Rapport. Like a good relationship.
Yes, a positive, trusting relationship. When participants feel comfortable and trust the researcher, they're much more likely to share openly and honestly. That leads to richer, more authentic data. It's a human-to-human process.
So pulling this all together, qualitative research isn't just about collecting different kinds of data. It's a whole mindset, really, focused on depth, context, and meaning.
It really is. It's a powerful lens for exploring the complexities of human life that numbers alone often gloss over. It gives us nuance, understanding, empathy even.
A vital tool for understanding our world more deeply.
Definitely. So maybe think about this. How might understanding these principles change how you look at information? Or even situations in your own life or work? What hidden meanings, what stories might be waiting if you look past the surface, beyond just the numbers?